We were recording overseas this week, and I wasn't even aware of that till just now. So welcome back to That Entrepreneur Show. This week, we're recording in Colombia with Jermane Cheathem. Jermaine, thanks for taking some time to stop by the show.
Thanks, Vince, for having me, man. Glad to be here. Looking forward to our chat.
Me as well. How long are you going to be out in Colombia?
So I have a flight back to Mexico. I'm going to Mexico for about a month and a half. So I've been here almost 3 months, and I'll be in Mexico for like a month and a half near Cancun. So it's been a great 90 days here in Colombia.
That's amazing. Well, I hope you enjoyed yourself out there. And for today, we're learning all about his business endeavors and how he's able to do that from anywhere in the world. He believes entrepreneurship is the first step in the journey to self-actualizing and achieving all we want, which is happiness. And after generating 50 million and counting in finance deals, he helps professionals use his simple model and system to create the one-person business, income, and freedom they have always known is possible, but they didn't know how to get it in this unique way. He's joining us as the founder of Creators Learn, where they do just that, help entrepreneurs start and scale their own lending businesses using this system. If you want to listen on to learn how to start and scale your own lending business without risk, how to sell without selling, and so much more, you stop by the right episode. This is That Entrepreneur Show, where I'm grateful to announce we are a top 1.5% global show. So thank you to all who are tuning in each week. And of course, today's guest, Jermaine. Show some love to our show sponsor for the summer before we get going, Cesar Cervantes, TEDx coach and performance speaking coach. He works with you until you get put on the TEDx stage. So if that's something you're interested in, that is virtual. So anywhere in the world, hop into his link in my description. But we're going to kick this show off. But I have to announce our spotlight story this week. It's going to be a great one since we have a systems go-to guru here today. We're going to go over an article titled 7 Systems Every Entrepreneur Must Have in Place in Order to Build Their Business. We'll have his take on it. But first, Jermaine, take us back to the very start of your entrepreneurial journey.
So the very start, the whole reason why I started in entrepreneurship is because I have an allergy towards working for somebody else and building their dreams and fulfilling what they want out of their life versus me fulfilling what I want out of my life. Yes. And so I was just sick and tired of working for somebody else, being that pawn in a 9-to-5 job where I wanted to be the king of my own castle and direct my own ship. And that was really something that bothered me for years and years and years. It was like that little voice that would talk to me right before I went to bed or right before I woke up and said, Jermaine, dude, you're not happy because of this. And I knew exactly what it was is, I'm working for somebody else. Like nobody wants to do that. Everyone wants autonomy. Everybody wants freedom. Everyone wants to eat what they kill. Mm-hmm. And I was splitting my commissions. I was working and going to these dumb meetings and these dumb offices for no reason when it's the future's here. I have technology that allows me to do this business from anywhere in the world. And so here I am handcuffed because my fears are holding me back from this quote unquote unknown. And that is the reason why I became an entrepreneur. It's the quickest, the fastest, the most seamless way to create freedom in your life.
You said that very well about the maybe unnecessary meetings just to have meetings. As I winded down my corporate career, I started doing real estate at one point, a little more heavy. And I worked for another company, I believe it was Primerica at that point. And just at that point, it was very part-time. So I got involved with it. And the team meetings were not really building any skills or anything in the workplace, any tools that were valuable. It just took time, our most valuable asset out of my day. So I really like how you highlighted it there. Is this your first company, or take us back to company number 1 and tell us about it?
Yeah, so this is my second company. And so my first company is specifically a finance company. And the reason why I chose finance out of all the industries I could be involved in is because who has most of the money in the world? People that know finance. And if you can combine sales and finance, you're going to be sitting real pretty because it's leveraged, it's digital, it's extremely lucrative, and it doesn't require this face-to-face interaction. I'm digitally moving money around. And so that was my first business. And it was on a trip that I took my mom to Europe. I took her to Italy for her 60th birthday. And I was like, I don't care. I'm just going to figure out how to run my business remotely because I had an office. I was doing the whole brainwash. You got to have an office. You got to have employees. You got to, do this thing that we all been brainwashed to think. So while I'm in Italy, I'm like, no, screw this. I want to enjoy Italy. I want to enjoy Europe. I don't want to be working.
Yeah.
So we took that time to figure out our SOPs, to button up systems and processes and automation so my business could run basically while I sleep. And so when I got back to the US, I was like, man, other people can do what I do. There's nothing special about me. I have no special skill. The type of financing I do is basically like fourth grade math. If you can tip your waiter at Capital Grill, you know how to do this math. This is not rocket science. And so the second business bled in from that trip in Italy was like, other people can do this. So we put together the SOPs, we put together the systems, and we put together this entire training that teaches anybody how to create a lucrative solopreneur business in this specific lending space. And so those are the two separate businesses. So one was just kind of a byproduct of me trying to free myself from my own business. And so now I'm able to help other people free themselves from their 9-to-5 or their business that just isn't working.
I love that. And we'll go back to it at the end of the show, but let's plug your website and where people can find this information right now.
Yeah, so creatorslearn.com, like creators of the universe, learn.com. And because, the way I think about business and entrepreneurship is entrepreneurs are creators. We create something out of thin air. And so my idea is like, if you're a creator of what you want in your life, this is the place for you to learn about this particular business model. So yeah, creatorslearn.com is the best place to find me.
Thank you for sharing that, everyone. Be sure to just scroll down in the episode description. I'll also have that right there. But Jermaine, on this entrepreneurial journey, it's not easy, whether you're a book reader or you love apps or workshops. What's one resource that stuck out to you, added value to you that we could push forward to our community?
So I'm going to give you two.
All right.
Because
thank you.
I'm that kind of guy.
Right.
The first one I'm going to say is a great entrepreneurial book, or even a sales book, or just a great book in general for focus. Because I think the biggest problem I see that most salespeople, entrepreneurs struggle with is focus, in niching down, in figuring out what is the thing, not the 10 things, but the one thing. And that's the name of the book. It's called The One Thing, and it's by Gary Keller. He started Keller Williams Realty. And he talks about this idea of you can't separate the non-important from the important. And there's only a couple things that are very, very important. And you have to find that lead domino to push over, because literally it knocks over all the dominoes for you. And so many people are trying to knock over all 10,000 dominoes at once instead of just find the one lead domino. So that's my first book. And the second resource I would say is Alex Hormozi's $100 million offer, because it understands how to put together an offer that is, you can't deny it. You have to say yes to it. And if you make an offer so stupid simple and so take away all the risk, then most people are going to figure and do the calculation in their head and say, yes, the probability is that I'm going to succeed. And even if I don't, the risk is so mitigated that I'm willing to take that chance. And so those are the two books, $100 million offer and The One Thing by Gary Keller.
Those are both great. Thank you for sharing that. Everyone out there, keep learning. The learning never stops unless you want to. I know it can get busy to hold yourself to reading these books. For one point, I read a few books at a time, and it got a little out of control at one point. So I implemented just 20 minutes of reading every morning, just putting it a part of my morning schedule. And then that's how I started checking off some of these books. Those are two great recommendations. But Jermaine, before we hop into this week's Spotlight story, is there anything else you want to touch on relating to your business?
Well, I think let's talk about this idea of the $100 million offer, because this is how I kind of figured out how to structure my Creators Learn business model, which is how to excel in this lending space as a solopreneur. And I had to figure out, how can I make this so stupid simple for anybody with any type of experience to join without the risk, the fear, the uncertainty, right? And so I was like, how can I make this so stupid simple? So, my business model, you can make $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a month. Very simple, because it's extremely leveraged. And so I'm like, if someone can make $30,000 or $40,000, $50,000 a month, how can I make the pricing so stupid cheap that they have no reason not to buy, but also there's no risk on the back end? So what I did was I made it less than $1,000 to start. So like, that's a no-brainer considering you can make 40 grand a month on this model. Plus, I guarantee you, if you don't make $10,000 in the first 90 days of you taking the course, I'll give you your money back, 100% refund. Plus, on your first deal that you actually do, that you actually get funded and you find, we will pay you back any of your membership fees that you paid, that $1,000. So it's like you get your money back or you get your refund back, you get everything back and there's no risk and it's a very low barrier to entry. So like when I put this all together, I'm like, yeah, people love this because they're like, yeah, I can get a refund, it's guaranteed, and I get my original commitment fee back once I fund my first deal. Plus it's only $1,000 to start. It's like no brainer. So I just wanted to share that because I think it's important that you make an offer so irresistible because I'm confident in the program. I've been doing this since 2003. I know how to structure these deals. I know how to find the deals. So it's a one-to-many sales strategy and not the one-to-one. So you don't waste your time because time is the most precious thing we got. And I want financial freedom, time freedom, location freedom. And most importantly, I want mental freedom. I don't want to be stressed. And this model is about relationships. And relationships you actually want, not relationships that are based on obligation, but based on friendships and mutually beneficial friendships. If I'm making money and you're making money, we're all happy. And that's the goal.
I hope you could hear the passion through the mic just now. I see it right here. He loves what he does, and that's just a lot of info he poured onto us. So remember to scroll down in the show description, go to his website, check out everything he has to offer, more in tune. And now we are going to get his take on this week's Spotlight story. I'm going to read a bit of 7 systems every entrepreneur must have in place to build their business. We'll get his take on it. Again, it is in the show description. Just scroll down. The fact of the matter is that having business systems in place can give you leverage because they make success and predictability. Systems create strategy, help become more effective. And when you have an effective strategy in your business, you make more money. Here are some of the systems this article touches on. I'll go over a few before I bring him back on. An operational system, a client management system, a financial management system, a sales management system, a marketing management system, a talent management system, and a legal management system. Right there in the beginning, operational system. How will you manage the day-to-day of your company? Remember, what gets attended to gets done, So write everything down, your logins, passwords, key contacts, and how to operate your business. A client management system, how you will manage your customer service and client-related inquiries, including refunds, exchanges, complaints, accommodations, and anything else that you can come to you directly from a customer. The last one I'll bring on before I bring him back on is talent management system. This is to manage those who will help you serve your clients, including hiring, firing, subcontracting. There's a lot that goes into owning a company, a lot that goes into your business that people don't talk about day to day. That's why I chose this article, because I know you have a lot of experience running your own show. What can you provide from that article?
So it's kind of funny. It's a perfect segue because all those things, all those systems that you mentioned, none of them matter except for one. This is the lead domino I was talking about. The only thing that matters is sales, because without sales, you don't have a need for any of those other systems because they don't exist. Because without the moolah, you don't need to hire. You don't need operations. You don't need legal. You don't need an accountant. If you don't have any money, you don't need those things. And so the most important system you'll ever create in any business is a sales system, because that's what drives revenue. And so I would focus on that one thing, which, how can I create sales? And do not worry about everything else, because most entrepreneurs, they don't want to be entrepreneurs. They want to be solopreneurs. They want to do their own thing without dealing with all the other stuff and all the other people. And to be honest with you, in my business, I don't even deal with all those other systems you talked about. My main system is sales and marketing. That's it, because everything else takes care of itself. That's a second order effect. My first order effect is, how can I drive business? And how can I help people get the results I've been able to have and my students have been able to have? So the only focus I would ever had in my lead domino, my one thing, would be sales. And sales is very simple. You figure out, where is the leverage? Where are the leverage points? And for me, that's why I'm talking to you, Vince. You're the leverage. You have the audience. I don't have to build the audience. You have the audience. And guess what? I am borrowing all your audience's goodwill and trust towards you, and it automatically gets transferred over to me because you had me on. And so when I think about business in that context, when I'm building out a sales process, if you will, then I'm looking for other people that have the audience that I'm looking for. And then they refer me in. And again, the goodwill and the trust is automatically transferred. So I get these finance deals coming to me without me searching for them, because I build partnerships with people that bring me into their network, and they already trust the person that brought me in. So guess what? They just sign. They don't ask me questions, because trust is trust. And that's why you do what you do, because you have an audience that trusts you and they listen to what you say. So that's the beauty of humans, is we built all this incredible technology, services, food, everything that we have at our fingertips that we didn't have to create. We built it based on the backs of other people that we have community with, that we have relationships with. That is the essence of sales.
I love how you mentioned that, just tapping into other people's networks. And when I do my podcasting workshops every month, that's something I talk on. You want to guest on a podcast, you're going in front of a completely new audience. Your audience knows your services, your products. They may or may not tap in at some point, but now you're in front of a whole new group of people through that trusted barrier. Very, very well put there. Everyone, be sure to scroll down the episode description, get his website, go check out what he has to offer. But before I let him go, it's the one talking point that has survived the 3.5 years, because it lets our audience get to know you that much more. Which entrepreneur throughout history are you sitting down with for a conversation, dead or alive?
This is kind of funny because I don't know if you've ever got this answer before, but I think entrepreneurs, we focus way too much on other people, and we focus way too much on what they did and how they created it. Number one, we don't know if that's actually what they did. A lot of this stuff is hearsay. You know, you hear these quotes about entrepreneurs, you find out that wasn't Steve Jobs that said that, that was Gandhi. Or that wasn't Gandhi that said that, that was, Tim Cook, whatever. So don't trust what you hear. So the only person I'm going to sit down with is myself, because I'm the only person I should be listening to. Because if you think about it, what is more interesting than your own entrepreneurial journey? This is the only one you know for fact. This is the only facts that are actually true. So the only person I'm sitting down with is me, and the most important conversation I have with myself, or I hear, or I do, is the one I have with myself. Those long, hard talks on walks where you don't want to make the calls, or you don't want to send the DMs, or you don't want to do the podcast, or you don't want to go to the gym. Those are the conversations that are the most important, that I want to sit down with myself and say, Jermaine, what am I scared of? What is the fear? Why am I feeling this way? And how can I move past it and think more globally, more abundantly, instead of so myopic? Because I'm looking down at my feet and I'm thinking about this thing's not working, then I'm going to get more frustrated, versus like, look up at the clouds, look up at the star, look around at all this abundance around you. Tap into that, because life is very easy once you start realizing that, and you have these conversations with yourself like, dude, I'm not sick. I have my limbs. I have my legs. I have all these resources at my disposal. Jermaine, go sit down for an hour and make the calls, send the DMs, do whatever you said you're going to do, because the most important promise you'll ever make is the promise you made with yourself. So if I said tomorrow I'm going to wake up at 6 a.m., go to the gym for an hour, and I'm going to make 200 DMs, then if I break that promise, even if no one heard about it, I know about it. And the person, if you disappoint yourself, guess what? I can't sleep at night when I disappoint myself. So I don't.
I am a big proponent of competing with yourself, not worrying about the other noise. And that's something that really pushes me to keep going. I set my own gym goals every morning. I'm a little unorthodox with how early I do my day. I'm in the gym by 4:30. At least 6 days a week. That's what works for me. It gets my morning routine going. I time block the night before every night. Those are things that just help me get in that mindset you've been describing all show. Thanks again for hopping on, Jermaine. I had a great time getting to know you, and your story was very inspiring. One more time, where can everybody find you online?
Yeah, so creatorslearn.com. I'm most active on LinkedIn as well, so you can check me out there.
All right, everyone, scroll down in the show description, get his LinkedIn, get his website, and the show is at That Entrepreneur Show on Facebook, IG, and LinkedIn, and the YouTube channel, and my social is at Vincent A. Lancy, where there will be a video clip from today's show. And with that, we are signing off all the way from Colombia to here in Florida. Thanks again for stopping by.